those are some pretty wise words. So don't work out in the morning or the evening, just work out all day.
All day. No, but in my office, for example, I used to have a standing desk. Now I've got a walking desk.
Yeah.
So as I'm doing my work, I'm walking.
Mm.
If I get an annoying telephone call or email or somebody hassles me or I get some nasty stuff comes into my life, I go and punch the bag because the bag is right next to my desk. Or I skip rope or I do some chin-ups or push-ups or whatever. It's all in my surroundings.
Yeah.
So multiple times throughout the day.
Yeah. Oh, well, we're getting an interrupted call there.
Woohoo! Hello.
Hey there, Cromwell community. My name's Matthew Newton, a licensed salesperson with XP Realty. This is episode 2 of Beyond the Sale, and today we are blessed with the presence of Rowie McEvoy.
Blessed. Wow. Thank you, Mighty Matt. Mighty Matt, the real estate legend, or soon will be.
Hopefully so.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, Rowie's joined us here today, guys, because she's going to share a bit about her journey in entrepreneurship, and she's a bit of a badass. You don't want to meet her in the street.
No, I love that. That's real cool. That's real cool. So I'm going to correct you on that. Is that okay?
Yes.
Because I'm not an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I have a unique, and I don't know if this word's made up, but I'm actually an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So I've never started a business.
Yeah.
I've just gone into other people's businesses and made them more successful. I've treated them like they're my own business and made them more successful.
So tell us a bit more about that and how you got sort of started on that
cool.
journey. Eh?
So I was 10 years of age.
Yeah.
A lady at my church said, would you like to come and help me? I sell planter pots at the Victorian markets in Melbourne in Australia.
Yeah.
Would you like to come and help me? I'll pay you $10 a day. Now, when you're 10 years old, that's a lot of money, especially because I'm an old lady. Back then, that was a lot of money. So we rock up 5 o'clock in the morning at the markets. And I looked around and I said to her, Wendy, there's another market down the road. How about you go to the other market? I'll stay here and sell pots because it can't be that hard. And rather than paying me $10 a day, I'll take a percentage of what I sell. I was 10. So from that day forward, and there's a whole heap of parts to this story, but I'll skip forward. I ran away from home when I was 14 and 9 months, and I had $10,000 in the bank. And I had spent a lot of money. From the age of 10 to 15, I earned a lot of money, but not on wages. I've never worked for a wage in my whole life. I've just worked with other people, helping them to grow their business. So I got poached from Wendy to sell clothes, and then I got poached from clothes to jeans, and there's a lot of money in jeans. And I made a lot of money helping other people's businesses grow. So to me, that was, why would I want to work for someone else? I want to do it my way. But if I can help somebody else's business grow, then there's a real big satisfaction in that as well. And I've done that my whole life.
It's an awesome path that you've taken there, and I think everybody that's ever met you sort of feels how infectious you are just about each individual person, and you genuinely care about everybody and want to try and help them with their goals, and you're doing that with Scotty at the moment there with his business and helping him grow his family and things like that as well.
It's a lovely thing to say, thank you.
No worries.
But I'm not going to disagree with you.
Yeah.
One of my K-Man's martial arts, one of our little dragons said to me the other day, Rowie, you're a very kind lady.
Yeah.
And I can put my hand on my heart, and this is a really big thing about business. If you're an asshole, don't go into business.
Yeah.
And you might even make money, but you won't even like yourself because you look in the mirror and you go, I'm actually an asshole.
Yeah.
If you're a really nice person, if you're kind and respectful and genuine, then your business is going to grow automatically because I want to do business with nice people. I'm sitting here today with you because you're a good bloke. If you weren't a good bloke, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
The real estate agent that you work for, and we just had this conversation with him, he's a really good guy. And so I recommend his business because he's a good guy.
Yeah.
And I wish there was more of that in the world.
Yeah.
So I can put my hand on my heart and say my whole life has been dedicated to helping other people become successful.
Yeah.
If you ask me, Rowie, what do you do? My role in society right now is to make sure that people have a career or business that they love and not a job that they don't. There's too many people that go to a lousy, stinking, rotten job every single day and they hate it. And that's a miserable way to live, isn't it? I don't want people to live like that.
Yeah.
So I'm committed to making sure that doesn't happen.
And where would you say that all this passion sort of stems from?
Okay, so this is I love telling this story because this is the day that changed my life.
Yeah.
My father sent me to private boarding school in Melbourne to become a lawyer.
Right.
My father was absolutely committed to me earning lots of money as a lawyer. We had a rainy day at school and outdoor sport was the biggest thing at our school. You had to be really good at sport, otherwise you weren't popular at school. There's a real, if you weren't good at sport, you weren't accepted in the school. Anyway, so we had to come inside because it was raining. And the school employed these two people to come and teach indoor exercise. At the time it was called aerobics.
Oh, yeah.
It's now called group exercise. And at my school, because it was a private boarding school and a religious private boarding school, you couldn't dance and you couldn't listen to rock music. It was, if you did that, you wouldn't go to heaven, basically. So we go inside and they've employed these people and they come in and they teach us exercise to music. And to me, we were dancing to music. And I just went, these people are getting paid to do this. I could do this for a living. So I went to my school principal and I said, excuse me, sir, how much are you paying those people to teach us group exercise, aerobics? He said $30. I said, I'll do it for $25. I was 13. I had no idea how to teach group exercise. To the credit of the school principal though, Mr. Bartlett, his name was, I'll never forget, he said, you're on, you can teach next week. If it's raining, you can teach next week. And the school paid me $25 to teach group exercise. Cut back about 2 weeks before then, there were two girls at my school that were really popular, really good looking, really good at academics and really good at sport, but they didn't like me. So they sent a survey around my school. It was a paper survey because I'm obviously very old. There was no internet then. And it was, if you like Rowie, tick yes, and if you don't like Rowie, tick no. The ultimate bully, yeah? Because they were the most popular girls in the school, all the boys ticked no, we don't like Rowie, and all the girls ticked no, we don't like Rowie. So at the end of the day, these girls came to me with a big pile of paper, 450 pieces of paper that said, we don't like Rowie. Like, that's the ultimate bully experience, isn't it? Now, you could turn that into a real negative and fall down and stay down.
Yeah.
I went home and cried for about a minute and a half. And then I thought to myself, why are the most popular girls in the school picking on me? Weak people pick on weaker people. Strong people don't pick on anybody. That was just the logic in my headspace.
Yeah.
So I thought they must have some crap going on in their life to pick on me. So I went back to school the next day, looked them both in the eye, tried to do it at the same time, and said, because of you, I'm going to be a powerful, passionate, positive person. That was my mantra from the age of 13. Powerful, passionate, positive person. I'm not going to let people pull me down. I'm not going to let people treat me badly. If you want to hurt me, I won't let you. That was my whole headspace. So I then had to stand up in front of the school 2 or 3 weeks later, don't quote me on the time frame, and teach a group exercise to 450 people that said they hated me. Now, this is the cool part of the story. This is why I love really nice blokes. When I finished teaching my class, I had to learn in 2 weeks how to teach group exercise. I had no clue, yeah? I watched a Jane Fonda video. So for the people that are more mature like me, you'll know that Jane Fonda is, I think she's 85 now or something. So I learned how to teach, got up in front of the whole school, taught group exercise. The school paid me $25 to do it. And from the back of the room, the coolest bloke in the whole school, good-looking boy like you, Matt, he stood up and he said, that chick, she rocks.
Yeah.
So I never got bullied again because the coolest bloke in the school thought that I was really cool now because I did something tough.
Yeah.
He understood that to stand up in front of a whole school that didn't like me, to do something I loved was a big deal.
Yeah.
And that's when my whole passion, from that day forward, I went home to my dad. I said, I'm not going to be a lawyer. I'm going to be a group exercise instructor. He said, over my dead body. My dad could speak 7 languages fluently, so he swore at me in 7 languages. No, 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 no. And I ran away from home, applied at a gym to be a group exercise instructor.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The owner of the gym said to me, how old are you, 12? And I said, no, I'm 14 and 9 months. And she said, no, you can't. You don't have any. I said, look, I've got experience. I taught at my school. she said, no, you can't. I said, all right, well, don't pay me any money. Give me all the classes that nobody wants to teach. And in every gym in the whole world, there's always classes that nobody wants to teach. They're late at night, early in the morning. I call it the strong end. They're on the weekend. Nobody wants to teach them. So I said, give me all the classes that nobody wants to teach. We'll work out the average number of people that come to each class. And don't pay me any money. Just give me $1 for every extra person that comes to the class. She gave me the Sunday morning class. I call it Sparkle Day Sunday. The average number of people coming was 3, which means sometimes there was nobody and sometimes there was 10. Like there was never more than 10 in that class. I built that class up. The first week I had 3 people in my class. So I earned no money. But I asked everybody in the class, and this is Business 101. I learnt their name, which is not hard when there's only 3 people. I learnt their name. I found out their favourite food or favourite snack, favourite lolly, and their favourite music. Now, you're not going to get this, but one of the people was a man, and his favourite performer, favourite musician was Engelbert Humperdinck. You've never heard of him, have you? So the next week, I sent a personal note to those 3 people. I said, please come back to my class. And there's no computers back then. Yeah. There was a bunch of cards on the front desk for members at the gym. So I wrote it, obviously there's an address on there. So I wrote a personal letter to those 3 people. Please come to my class again next week and bring a friend. Yeah. And I bought an album. I couldn't even buy a single. Back then there was no Spotify. There was no streaming of music. I bought a whole album of Engelbert Humperdinck. Cost me like $11.99 or something. And I then had to tape the the album onto a tape. And I played Engelbert Humperdinck for this guy and the 2 other people that came. So the next week I had 4 people. Yeah. I built that class up from 4 to 40 to 140. So now I'm earning $140 a class, which makes me the highest paid group exercise instructor in Australia. There was nobody in Australia earning that much money to teach a class back it was the end of the 70s. Yeah. That's business. That's really simple. When you do what you love and you want to add value to people's lives. Yeah. So, and I use real estate as an example. There's nothing more important than your home. If you want to find a beautiful home for somebody, go find one for them. And when you find it, they'll appreciate it. And then they'll love you because you cared about them. You didn't just try and sell them a house. Yeah. You wanted to sell them the house. Yeah. And that makes business really easy. Yeah, but people don't like being sold to, do they? No, and that's the ultimate thing in business. Don't sell. Yeah. People should want to buy from you because you're a really nice person. Yeah. And I learnt that, and I don't know, you're born with that because I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. Yeah. I just decided that I could do this if I do what I love. Now, I don't know if I'd be a good lawyer, maybe, but I don't want to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a group exercise instructor. Yeah. So now I still teach class. Here's a great question. Would you do it for free? Yeah. What would you do if you're a billionaire and you didn't have to work so you didn't get bored? Yeah. And what are you really good at? And if you combine those 3 together, you're going to have a successful business. Yeah. Now, ultimately, I teach Fight Fit for Fun in Cromwell at 5:30 on Funday Fridays for free. The whole community is invited because that's what I love to do. Yeah. I'm now in the position where I can do that. Yeah. And would you say you've never worked a day in your life? Not one. I've never worked because to me, work is something you're doing when you'd rather be doing something else. Yes. So I'll give you an example. For me, work is ironing. I hate ironing, so I don't iron anymore because I hate it. Everything else I do it because I absolutely love it. I'm sitting here today with you because I absolutely love you. Oh, from the day I met you, I don't know if you remember. We had a 14-minute conversation, I remember. The first time I ever spoke to you, we sat there and we talked for 40 minutes and I was just filling my water bottle up at the gym. But this is why I loved talking to you because I think you had 3 jobs at the time. Work ethic in this world has become like non-existent. And I went, here's a young bloke who's got ripped abdominals, which shows discipline physically. Obviously, I'm a group exercise instructor and I've been an exercise professional all of my life. Yeah. So I have real respect for people that respect their own body. Yeah. So I went, this young bloke respects his own body, he's in great shape, but he works really hard because I deal with so many people who go to the gym 7 days a week, but they're lazy and they've got no money because all they focus on is their body. But I met you, and here's you with ripped abdominals and 3 jobs. And I just went, this is awesome. What a great guy.
Yeah. And backtracking a little bit back to where you gave the performance there, what gave you the courage after getting beaten down by all those girls and other people around the school to get up on that stage that day and do what you did?
You ready?
Yep.
Passion.
Yeah.
Pass I on is how you break passion up.
Yeah.
Inside of me was and you'll get this because you exercise. My brother's girlfriend, when I was 10 years of age, told me I was fat. And I was. It was the truth. See, people don't like the truth. No, it didn't even hurt me.
Yeah.
I just looked in the mirror and went, she's right, I am. I need to do something about this. I'm not going to sook and whinge and moan. I wasn't offended. It was just the truth.
Yeah.
So I started exercising when I was 10 years of age. And I've never missed a day of exercise since I was 10. But from 10 to 13, I did silly exercises. I was doing side leg raises and donkey kicks and sit-ups and all silly things on the floor because I didn't know any better. But the day those people walked into my school and we did exercise to music, I got puffed. I was up off the ground in the upright position and got puffed. And I went, wow, this is amazing. I've never felt this good in my whole life. I want everybody to feel this good. So I found my passion. You know, people say, I don't know what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I'll ask those 3 questions again. What are you really good at? Yeah. What would you do for free? And if you're a billionaire so you didn't get bored, what would you do? Yeah. If you're not doing that, you're not doing the right thing. No. If you wouldn't do it for free, don't do it. Yeah. And I would do this for free, and I do now, and I did for a very long time. It took me a long time to build that class up to 140 people, and sometimes there was more than 140. But when you love what you do, you don't care. You'll go hungry if you have to. In the human body, we can skip a few meals. It won't hurt us. It makes us tougher.
Yeah. So on that note, talk to the lovely audience here a bit more about your schedule and, you know, because I know you work stupid hours. Or people would think it's stupid hours.
Let me ask you this. If you're on holidays, let's say you're in Vegas and you love nightclubs and dancing, you dance all night.
Yes.
Because you're having such a great time.
Yeah.
And then you go home and you have a couple of hours sleep, and then you go up and go to the Grand Canyon and you go to the pool and you have a great holiday. Yeah. Isn't that what life should be like? How else would you live? If you're doing something that's making you tired or making you stressed or you're not enjoying it, you're not doing the right thing.
Yeah. And you're not going to continue to do it or do it well, are you?
Hell no.
Yeah.
So when you say long hours, there's 168 hours in the week. You know when people say it's been a long day? I go, no, it hasn't. There's only 24 hours in the day. It hasn't been a long day. I'll rephrase. There's an analogy for that. You can, if you're really tired and you go for a run, for example, a 1 kilometre run could feel like a really long time. Even though it's only 1 kilometre, it could feel a really long time. But if you're really fit and strong and healthy, I've run 42.2 kilometres 21 times. Somebody told me I couldn't, so I thought, wonder if I can.
Let's go do it.
So let's go do it. You've got appreciation for the human body. I was told in the same year, you're too big for marathon running and you're too small for bodybuilding. So I did both in the same year just to give it a crack, like why not? And these are really good advice for marathon running. Start running when the gun goes off and stop running when you cross the finish line. Don't give yourself an option to stop. Just keep going. So I did it and went, well, I enjoyed that. I might do that again. So I did 21 of those. Yeah. And I'm not sharing that with you to impress. That's not the point. If you put your mind to something and you do it because you love it, it's easy. It's not hard anymore. Bodybuilding I did 1 time. I'm never going to do that again. I like food. I'm not starving myself ever again. Never been on a diet. And that was the 1 time in my life I was on a diet. I'm never going to do it again. It's screwed with my head. And it's such an unrealistic expectation. But there's a real funny story to that too. In my division that day, was the Queensland IFBB champion in my division. There was 15 women in my division. On the morning of the competition, the organiser called me and said, 14 women have pulled out. There's only you in your division. Do you still want to compete? I said, hell yes. So I rock up, I did my routine, and I won because I was the only person there.
Yeah.
I'm sharing that with you because sometimes you just got to show up.
Yeah.
There was 14 women that thought they weren't good enough, so they didn't show up. I'm sure I wouldn't have won because I wasn't ready for the competition. I just thought I'll learn more if I compete than if I watch. I was going to just go and watch. But I'm not doing that again because it screwed with my head. I don't do stuff like that.
No.
I want to do stuff that adds value to my life. So I ran a few more marathons, but I didn't do any more bodybuilding competitions.
Yeah. And I know for a fact that I wouldn't run a marathon because
it's not your thing. Yeah. And that's the thing. Why not do stuff that you love every day? Life is too short. And I drive through the gorge every day. It's beautiful, but a lot of people don't make it out of the gorge, do they? A lot of people die in that gorge. I'm really aware of that every day.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that I'm living today as if it was my last day. And that's not just some rah-rah motivational thing.
Yeah.
If you don't live like that, you end up wasting so much time on stupid stuff.
Yeah, and I think time flies by so quickly that, you can just easily forget about, everything. And, 10 years can just pass you by like that and you go, what have I done?
But wouldn't that be embarrassing? What have I done for 10 years?
Yeah. But I think that saying there, you hit the nail on the head. You've just got to live every day like it was your last, because if you can sit down at the end of the day and go, today was a good day, I achieved everything that I wanted to achieve, then, you can sit there and be happy with that. Where if you look back and go, I didn't achieve anything today,
then you feel miserable. And don't we live in a world now where there's lots of miserable people?
Yeah.
Which, to answer your question from before, I don't go to bed until I'm finished. There's two parts to that, though. I know there's only 24 hours in a day, so I don't overload. I think a lot of people put too many things on their to-do list, and then they've got an excuse to say, well, I had too much to do, so I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I know exactly what I'm capable of.
Yeah.
That's what's on my to-do list for today, and I don't go to bed until I've done it.
Yeah.
Which means I sleep really deep. A lot of people go to bed and say, I need 10 hours sleep or 8 hours sleep. But they don't sleep well because they haven't accomplished anything. So they go to bed stressed and miserable because they know they could have done more and they didn't.
Yeah.
But if you go to bed having done all the things that you knew that you had to do today, I fall asleep instantly. And I wake up, let's go. Because I'm excited about the next day. It's not, I've got to drag myself out of bed. Too many people live like that, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, I think there could be a few things to why people wake up, I guess, with that attitude. But I think, as you say, if you set yourself like a realistic checklist for the day that you could actually achieve, then you feel accomplished. Where if you set that unrealistic expectation of what you're going to achieve today and don't achieve it, you won't feel good about yourself.
Bingo. And isn't that the ultimate thing? If you've got high self-esteem, feel good about yourself, then you're more capable of everything, aren't you?
Yeah.
Which comes down to what I've always done for a living. I've been an exercise professional all of my life. Surely the fundamentals is you've got to be fit and strong. If you're not fit and strong physically, you're not going to be fit and strong mentally. Your brain wastes away, your body wastes away, and vice versa.
Yeah.
But, and this is the thing that I'm the most passionate about, is that the exercise profession has screwed up exercise. We've made it too hard, too complicated, too long and too boring. And it's not meant to be. It's meant to be really simple. The human body's meant to be fit and strong. How do we do that? There's a thing called the fight and flight system. It's called when you're under stress, somebody's trying to kill you, somebody's trying to hurt you. You've got to get away from the threat or you've got to kill it.
That kills it.
Yeah. Well, you said, that's what I loved. You said to me, oh, Rowie, you're a badass. I am, because I am capable of. I've got a husband that's a martial artist who's taught me how to defend and protect myself. Yeah. And I tell this story all the time. This is hilarious. A guy tries to steal my bag in Melbourne, and I actually had these boots on. So they're high heel stiletto boots, exactly these boots on. He tries to steal my bag. In the middle of the day, he thinks, old lady, high heel shoes, she can't chase me, so he tries to steal my bag. The noise that he made running away was, he was squealing like a pig, literally. And I'm sharing that with you because when you're fit and strong, you can handle any situation. You're not scared. Yeah. And I wasn't scared. I said, you're not stealing my bag. So his body was in much worse shape after he had to deal with me. So thank you. Yes, that makes me a badass. Then I'm happy with that. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I think you sort of hit the nail on the head too before talking about being healthy, fit, and strong. If you wake up in the morning and look at yourself in the mirror, you can feel good about yourself, can't you?
But isn't that? I love it that you just said that.
Yeah,
Because we've seemed to have got away from, is body image important?
yeah,
Of course it is.
yeah,
If you don't like what you see in the mirror, if you're not
yeah,
proud of who you are inside and outside, it's much harder to face the day. It's much harder to be good at business. You might not get this because I'm not sure if men have fat days, but all women have shared with me they've
yeah,
had a fat day.
yeah,
You can't go from thin to fat in a 24-hour period. That's not
mm,
possible physiologically. I promise
mm,
that's not possible. But every woman will tell you that one day she looked in the mirror and was quite happy with what she saw.
yeah,
The next day she looked in the mirror and she thought she was fat. Well, that's not physiological. That's you told yourself you were fat, so you feel fat. So what kind of day are you going to have?
mm,
You can't do business when you feel fat. You have to get your body into great shape, but for every reason. The most important reason is that every brain chemical is designed to make you feel good. The endocrine system, the hormonal system, isn't about looking good technically. It's about staying alive so you don't die, great, but to thrive so that you can reproduce. That's what the human race is designed for. Don't die, thrive so you can make more humans. Now, this is a very personal thing, but how many people even want to have a great physical, intimate relationship with their partner if they don't feel good? Most relationships are crappy because you don't feel good, I don't feel good, so we don't want to make any more babies. That's very sad, isn't it?
yeah,
That's my driving force. You ask me what I'm passionate about. I want people to feel good every day. We're in the beautiful Cromwell shopping centre. I come in here with a big happy smiley face, smiling at everybody. How many people do you think smile back?
not too many.
And I don't get offended by that. I just
Yeah.
think if you were fit and if you were strong and if you were healthy and if you had a career in business that you loved and if you were financially free and if you had great people in your life, you'd be smiling too.
Yeah,
So that's my driving force, those 4 things. How do I get healthy, fit and strong? That's simple. Have a career or business that you love. More simple if you're healthy, fit and strong because you'll make better decisions. Financial freedom is then very simple because when you do what you love and you're adding value, your business will be successful. And then why would you have crappy people in your life? Why would you? There's plenty of crappy people in the world. There's billions of them, but you don't have to have them in your life.
no,
And if you like yourself, it doesn't matter if there's nobody in your life. You just love being with you. Isn't that awesome?
yeah, and like for those people sitting at home that maybe aren't in a great spot, where would you sort of give them advice on to how to start to feel good about themselves? Because you're such an infectious
Manny.
person, and there's, you just got so much to share.
This is my area of expertise.
Yeah,
Some people study mechanics and some people study engineering and some people study medical. Mine is the human brain and the human body, yeah? Before you do anything, there's so many things you can do to get into great shape, but this is the fundamentals. Fresh air and sunshine. Artificial light and artificial air, no good. Fresh air, sunshine, get fit, which is get puffed. It's not about hours of exercise, it's just get puffed. Fit people get puffed really quickly. Unfit people get puffed really quickly. It's just how quickly you recover that determines how fit you are. So fresh air, sunshine, get fit, get puffed. Eat more real food.
Yeah.
I don't like diets and I hate that whole fanatical thing about food. Just eat more food that grows in the ground or on the ground, runs on the ground, that hasn't been screwed with by humans.
Yeah.
But mental health is important too. So can't have, mustn't have, don't have, shouldn't have all the foods that you love. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I love chocolate and cake and biscuits and all these. I'm an old lady. I'm fitter and stronger and healthier and leaner than I've ever been. I eat chocolate every day. I'm sharing that because life was not meant to be, I can't have that, it's bad for me.
Yeah.
Better question. If you're about to die, you're out in the bush or out in the desert and you're going to die and you come across a block of chocolate and you eat it, it's going to stop you from dying.
Yeah.
So you can't call chocolate bad food because it could save your life, yeah? People say, oh, don't drink alcohol, it's bad for you. Well, I don't drink because I don't like it. But if you're out in the bush and you're going to die and you come across a carton of beer, if you drink that beer, it's going to save your life. So it's not bad, is it?
Yeah.
If you put everything down to just the real fundamentals, eat what you love, eat most of what grows in the ground or runs on the ground and hasn't been screwed with. That's pretty simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's my advice as an exercise professional. Fresh air, sunshine, get puffed, lift heavy stuff. And what you lift, I don't go to the gym anymore. I know that you love the gym, but I lift logs and rocks and wheelbarrows full of sand and my dogs, and I'm really, really strong.
Yeah.
And that's not to impress. That's just to say it's not that hard. It's not expensive. It costs nothing. But you have to do it.
Yeah. And would you say starting with exercise in the morning's better than the evening, or would you say there's not much between the two?
That's a really good question.
Mm.
The most important part of exercise is what it does to your brain, not what it does to your body. The number one prescribed drug in the world is an antidepressant. That's the biggest. The weight loss drugs are catching up, but still antidepressants are the biggest ones.
Yeah.
Antidepressant, the process of that is very simple. When you exercise, you can't be unhappy, you can't be depressed. Even if you want to be, you can't be, because you're changing your brain chemistry. So if I get puffed and lift heavy at any time, doesn't matter when I do it, and I'll rephrase, if an animal's chasing me and I kill the animal, first of all, my body gives me everything I need to kill it or run away from it. So epinephrine, adrenaline, cortisol, so that I can get away from the threat. I kill the threat. If that happens, my brain then fills up with dopamine, reward drug, I feel amazing. I killed the threat, I'm a legend. Serotonin, which is satisfaction neurochemistry. So I feel really satisfied that I'm alive because the animal didn't kill me, I killed it. So isn't that awesome? And then brain-derived neurotropic factor, which is fertilizer for your brain, which simply means if the threat's bigger next time, if the animal's more wild, if the tribe's bigger, I have to be better. Now, we don't have tribes and wild animals anymore, but we have bad bosses and horrible jobs and terrible government and things happen in the world that aren't good. You need to have a strong brain. So if you exercise really hard, kill the threat, run away from the threat, you change your brain chemistry. So my question is, ask me, Rowie, how often should you exercise? Ask me that question.
How often should you exercise?
Maddie, how often do you want to feel good? If you want to feel
all
crappy,
day, every day.
Exactly.
So
you
work
ask
out
me,
all day.
Rowie, how come you're happy all the time? And I get accused of this. It's like an accusation. Rowie, you can't be happy all the time. Why not?
Yeah.
Because it's not that I get stressed, I get frustrated, I get annoyed, I get angry. The very first thing I do if I get any of those negative emotions is I go and punch the bag, I kick the bag, I do some jump squats, I do some sprinting on the spot, I run through some soft sand, I run up some stairs. I change my brain chemistry. Now I feel good about myself. But if you're the threat, now I know I can overcome that threat because I've got a brain that's ready to do that. It's not complicated. And I'm cranky with my own profession because the exercise people have made exercise long, boring, complicated, and expensive.
Yeah.
And getting puffed takes 10 seconds. If you go flat out for 10 seconds, you get puffed, change your brain chemistry, feel good. That's how easy it is. And then you can be passionate.
Yep. So, Rowie, what's the outcome of all of this?
Because I coach people in business, that's what I do.
Yeah.
So I went from being a group exercise instructor to managing a health club. And that story very, very quickly, I applied for a position. They wanted somebody over 30 with experience to manage a health club in Sydney in Australia. Yeah. I had no experience and I was 18. And I walked in and applied for the position anyway. And I said, I don't want you to pay me any money. I just want to take a percentage of the extra money that I put through the business. That's me as an entrepreneur. So what is the current profit and loss? What's the current income of the health club? And for every extra $1,000 I bring in, I want 100. So that's how I've lived my life. The outcome of that was I've managed health clubs all over the world because everybody wants to employ somebody like that. There's no risk in employing an entrepreneur like that. As a boss, you can't lose. As the owner of a business, you can't lose. Because if I don't do my job properly, you don't pay me any money. Does that make sense? So I knew that. But I had to get qualified. I had to get educated. I had to get trained to be able to do that. So I had to learn how to do sales, marketing, customer service, profit and loss. I didn't know what P&L meant. I didn't know what ROI meant. But I learned pretty quickly that return on investment means if you're going to invest money in me, I have to give you what you want. And it wasn't from my boss. It was from my members. Yeah? So I had to learn all of that really quickly. So managing health clubs all over the world, this is my father who wanted me to be a lawyer, not an exercise professional. And I ran away from home because he didn't support anything that I did, neither did anybody else in my life. I end up on the Young Rich list in Australia, one of the richest people on the Young Rich list under the age of 40. Now it's interesting because my family and my dad and everybody says, oh, you do have a real job. again, I'm not sharing that to impress. I'm sharing with you that when you do what you love, money comes automatically. I've never thought, how can I become a multi-millionaire? That's never been in my headspace. It was, I want to wake up every day doing what I love.
Yeah.
But the 3 things is do what you love, keep getting better at it, and add massive value to people's lives. I'm privileged that my product, my service, adds massive value to people's lives. When you're healthy, fit, and strong, you can do everything better. So the product's brilliant. You just have to learn how to share it with the world effectively. And as I said before, I never had to sell anything. People wanted to buy from me. They wanted to be a member at my health club. They wanted to be a person. I don't use the word personal trainer anymore because there's a lot of dodgy ones. I call myself an exercise professional. I say that with, that's my profession. But there's so many people who call themselves a personal trainer that don't have a qualification. They don't know. If I say, how does the endocrine system work? They don't know. Like, that embarrasses me. Imagine going to a real estate agent and saying, what's the current value of this home, and the real estate agent says, oh, I'm not quite sure. Like, you'd think you're with a dodgy real estate agent. There's a plenty of people, if you say, personal trainers, if you say, do you know how the human body works, they'll say abs, lats, calves, buys. Like, they can't even say full sentences. And I'm sharing that with passion and enthusiasm, because if you're going to put your hands into if you're going to put your body into the hands of somebody that's going to look after you, make sure they've got capable hands. Make sure your real estate agent knows what they're doing. Make sure your lawyer knows what they're doing. Make sure your car mechanic knows what they're doing, because otherwise it's your fault because you picked the wrong person. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think that can be seen through lots of different industries. There's a whole big thing on social media not too long ago about getting personal training from somebody that looks physically unfit.
I'll put that in a different perspective. This is very politically incorrect, but I have no challenge sharing this. If you are in the medical profession, if you're a doctor, a physiotherapist, a chiropractor, a personal trainer, and you're in bad shape, to me that's disrespectful, because you actually understand how the human body works and that it's not meant to be out of shape. And if you are out of shape, I almost find that disrespectful and offensive. Came in, my gorgeous husband had a hip replacement. This is such a funny story. And we talked to his surgeon over the phone, because the surgeon was in Auckland. And the first question I asked the surgeon was, are you fat? Now, I don't find that, because remember, as a child, that changed my life. The surgeon said to me, funny you should say that. He said, it's very politically correct that you've asked me that, but my wife and I, we do endurance races all the time. We're both in great shape, and I absolutely agree with you. As a surgeon, I need to be in great shape, because my brain's got to work well, my body's got to work well, so that I can help people. That's how passionate I am about the human body being in great shape. So yes, if you're going to look after your body, if you're going to ask somebody to help you, make sure it's somebody who knows what they're talking about.
And to summarise the show, I guess it's be passionate about what you want to do, and everything else will come from there.
Is there anything else? There can't be anything else, because otherwise you're just doing it for the money. And then being on the Young Rich list in Australia, I met a lot of very, very wealthy people. Multi-millionaires, couple of billionaires. Most of them are really miserable, because they're not doing what they love. Even the way they made money, they're not proud of it. So what's the point of having a whole stack of money and not loving what you do and not loving every day? You're better off being broke. Better off being broke and happy. So I just wish for everybody, there's 4 things. Be healthy, fit and strong. Have a career or business that you love. Be financially free and have great people in your life. That's the only way to live. I call it live your life to the max.
And that's how we came up with Max College.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah, awesome. And before we close the podcast off, is there anything that you'd like to add for our wonderful viewers here today?
If you're a parent, a teacher, a coach, a boss, a leader, surely we have to live the example for our kids. Our future is our children. And if we're unfit, if we're unhealthy, if we've got a lousy, stinking, rotten job, if we're broke, and if we don't have great people in our life, what kind of example are we setting for our kids? So that's why I live my life the way I do. I don't have any children, but I have a lot of kids in my life. I want to make sure that I'm a living, breathing example for those kids. That's why I'm sitting with you, because I think that you are.
Thanks.
You're a hard worker, you're in great shape, and you want to do what you're passionate about. That's living the example for our future. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us here today, Rowie. It's been
Mighty
an
mate.
absolute pleasure to have you.
Woohoo!
Thanks for that. And that was episode 2 of Beyond the Sale, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you all in the next one.